Today we're here at an event for Porsche Club of Las Vegas where we're going to interview a couple Porsche owners about the cars that they brought today. So let's get right to it. My name is Sam and you're watching Got an X. So we're here with Gary, a used car salesman, and he's going to be telling us a little bit about this very special car that we're sitting in.
So the title to this car would tell you it's a 1964 Porsche 911, and that is the legal description of the car today. When the car was actually born in 1964, it was referred to as the Porsche 901, which was the brand new Porsche sports car designed to replace the Porsche 356, which had become very famous around the world. And this car was the first car designed by Ferdinand Porsche's son, Bunky Porsche. And he wanted to build the next generation car, and his dad let him do that. That was a very controversial decision within the company. But they went into limited production in 1964. And after building 83 cars, they were sued in world court by Peugeot in France. Peugeot at that time sold a sedan called a 901, and they had for quite a number of years, and they won the lawsuit. And Porsche was forced to change the name of the car after they had already produced 83 cars. And they didn't have a lot of money budgeted for the car. So the least expensive way for them to rename the car was to take the 0 out of the middle and put another 1 there. And the car became known as the 911. And they didn't want to build a lot of cars like that. So they built, I believe, a total of 233 of those models. The serial number of this car is number 221. And as a result, today, they're extremely rare. It's only the third one I've ever seen in the United States of America because the car was never exported here. And this is one of 49 known to exist with the motor that was in the car when it was produced.
Wow.
So we're really lucky to have this car in the collection. It was restored wonderfully by the previous owners. We've owned the car for about 15 years now. And we'll keep this car. It's part of our collection as long as the collection exists.
Yeah, that is so awesome. So much history in it.
Yeah, it really is. It is the true beginning of what has become arguably the most historic producer of sports cars that the automotive industry has ever known. And Porsche is extremely proud of the history of the 911, which is now in its 57th year of production continuously. No car in automotive history has ever done that.
That isn't crazy.
And there's still a line to buy them.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for giving us a little bit about this car and just sitting down and talking with us.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Anytime.
Now we have Romy here with us, and he has a 930 TT, and he's going to tell us a little bit about that car.
Right. So this car is very special. So what it is a 1989 930 twin turbo. They normally are not twin turbos. This one has been homologated for racing in Japan from the Porsche Club of Japan, and it has a intercooled, water-cooled intercooler. So it's basically air and water, kind of like the air and water we're going to go to next week. So the intercooler itself is water-cooled, and there's a fan inside, come here, let me show you, that blows hot air into the cabin. It's, it's ridiculous. So there's no heat, and there's no air conditioning, but there's definitely a little heat inside.
Okay.
So unlike a normal 930, this one has a water-cooled intercooler, and then underneath it's got 2 turbos. So the 964s had the twin turbos, but not the 930s.
Okay.
So this is an 89, and it's a little bit special. And it's been, you can see, made for Porsche Club of Japan. And what really makes this car special is it's got the boost gauge. I'm sorry, not the boost gauge, the boost controller.
Okay.
So with the boost controllers from the 90s, it's hysterical. And you could turn it up and down depending on what you want to do with the boost controller. So of course I turned it up to 11,
right.
You know, as high as it can go. Yeah. And it's completely crazy. This is a death machine. So there's no safeties, there's no ABS, there's no airbags, and it is probably one of the lightest Porsches I've driven, and with the most power to weight ratio.
Okay.
So it's crazy, super loud, and when it's at idle, it's got really high cams on it, like a race car. So it's like, bah, 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 and then like everybody comes over and they're like, what is this thing?
Yeah.
What is it? And it's really interesting. I have a lot of Porsches. I have like 9 Porsches, and this one gets the most attention. And I think it's because it's still the G body with the G50 transmission, but it's just so unique looking, right? The color, it's from Japan, it's got the real E88 rims on it, and it's just super special and fun to drive.
Crowd pleaser.
It's a crowd pleaser, but it's definitely, like I said before, it's a death machine.
Yeah.
That's why I love it.
Yeah, right.
I love it because
Right up your alley?
yeah, it's right on my alley. Yeah, most of my cars are death machines, and I like it that way because it's not like I want to live on the edge or anything. I just think if a car's boring, why drive it? Right. But if it's fun, exciting, and you get excited to get in and drive it, that's what's really I think everybody here, that's what it really is. It's like the excitement of driving.
Right, of course.
There you go.
Right. Taking off.
Yeah, it's the excitement of driving, and if anybody wants to come and see it, they should come down to Porsche and check it out, because I bring it down here all the time. It's always broken.
Awesome.
And it's a death machine. Yeah, and I absolutely love it. I got it. I imported it over from Japan, and I had to do a little work, and I brought it down to Garden Classic, and they really took such good care of it. Fixed the leaking turbos, fixed the leaking intercooler. We did a little suspension work, and it wasn't that much money because the guys at Garden Classic are so good. They're like, well, we can fix this or we can fix that, Romy. You tell me. You tell me what you need.
Right.
I love it.
Yeah.
You tell me what you need and we'll work around it. And that's they're very nimble and flexible, and that's what I really like about bringing my cars here. And a lot of people are like, oh, you bring your car to a dealership, it's so much money. It's not. They're gonna do what you want them to do and not anything else, or not anything more unless you want them to. And also, it's gonna be done right. And especially with the classics, you have to do that. There are so many shops around town that I'm gonna do this for you, I'm gonna do that, and then I still bring it back here. So that's it. So a push for Garden Classic. Yeah.
Like it. Thank
Perfect.
you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for talking about your car and giving us a little insight on it.
You got it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too. Now we have JP here with us, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the car that he brought today.
I brought the least interesting car of all the cars that are here today. This is it's a 91 964 911 cab, my Hank Moody car.
Hank Moody?
Hank Moody. If fans of the show Californication will remember his car. His had a smashed headlight. He didn't treat it nicely. He just drove the heck out of it, and I kind of appreciate that. I wanted one of these when I was. What's driving the value of these cars right now is that guys my age, there's Romy, wanted 964s when we were in high school and in college, but we couldn't afford them. And now it's 30 years later, and we can.
Yeah.
And so guys my age go out and buy the cars that they wanted in high school. And this is the car that was the car back then. And I've always been a convertible guy. Convertibles are better than coupes. I'm going to go ahead and say that on camera. I just said it. Convertibles are better than coupes.
You heard it here.
Yeah, right. That's going to make people very angry.
Well, I think it looks great. I love the body style. I
Thanks.
like convertibles. I think they're awesome. I just like driving around. I mean, Vegas is a little hot, but I feel like driving around still. Maybe right now, going a little fast, feels good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You want my theory on convertibles?
I would love your theory.
Okay, so here's the thing about convertibles. This guy going to drive into our shot. That'll be awesome. There's dog people and there's cat people.
Right.
If you're a cat person, you like coupes.
Okay.
If you're a dog person, you like convertibles. Now that doesn't mean that you like cats over dogs, but it's cats like to confine themselves in small spaces and look out at the world through little holes. You know, give a cat a box and a cat will climb into the box.
Right.
What happens when you put a dog in a car and roll the window down? The dog immediately sticks his head out the window and is like, "This is the greatest thing ever!"
Right.
And their tongues weighing, going. So, convertibles to me, it's like being a dog, right? You're just having fun. You're in the environment. Your tongue's hanging out, and dogs eat poop. So it's, I guess that's kind of correlation there, right? Exactly. But seriously though, I don't understand it because like a lot of coupe people, like people who prefer coupes over convertibles, they get really persnickety about it. Like, coupes are better, and they get angry, and they hate convertibles. They hate cabs. Mm-hmm. But people who like convertibles also like coupes. I love a coupe. I have coupes.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't my only Porsche, but they're both amazing, but they both have their pluses and minuses. But coupe people are just like, they have a binary worldview, they're cabriophobes, and I think it's 2024, and we need to change things. It's time to catch up.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Okay.
I get it.
There it is.
Well, thank you so much for telling us about your car and deep diving into coupes versus cabs. Did I say that right? Coupes
Sure.
versus
Yes,
cabs.
you did. You nailed it.
Wow.
Coupes versus
There we
cabs,
go.
right?
Well, thank you.
Of course.
So there you have it. Personally, my favorite Porsche from today was the 901 because of all the history it has behind it. But let us know in the comments down below what your dream Porsche is. And if you want to see more like this, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to turn that notification bell on, and we'll see you in the next one.